Hey there, today I'm going to be doing a unwrapping of the House of Powers of X hardcover. Look at that glare there. This is this genius piece of work by Brian Hickman. I've read all the main issues, and let's take a look at what this bad boy looks like binding-wise and all that. So without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. All right, so kind of almost pre-opened a slice. I pulled a little tab to make it easier to open up this time. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy. Okay, so first things first, let's see what this binding is like. It's kind of tight. It's a little tight. If I hold it like this, you'll see it's the cover isn't opening on its own, but that's fair. I don't mind relaxing a spine. I kind of like that. It freaks me out a little bit though when you see that much resistance from the spine. That usually means, or oftentimes means, that the hardcover is going to have a lot of resistance to you overall. But I'm seeing it starting to relax there pretty good right now, so that's a good thing. Fantastic art, fantastic story. One of the neatest things about this storyline is how Hickman does all this super smart stuff. So, I think it's House of X and Powers of 10. It isn't quite as simple as just a couple of X's being X's. And the number 10 has a it has a big significance in this one. And I'm going to do my best not to scan through the stuff in the back pages, because if you haven't read this, or at least make stuff really obvious, if you haven't read this series, man, it's absolute genius. And I do not say that lightly. There's some really, really unbelievably clever stuff that Hickman does here. And I'm seeing this stuff right now. That's real nice. I like that a lot. Look at that. So a little hint of gutter loss, but it's really minor. The pages aren't laying flat, but the paper is great. It doesn't have that weird warped look that a lot of the super thin paper stock that Marvel uses does have. There's not really any gutter loss. It's just a tight spine. So it sort of distorts the bowing of the page, distorts the image a little bit, but really that's actually not gutter loss. It's a pretty good, that's a pretty good jobby we're looking at here. And I don't remember this page from the book itself. This to me seems like a nice little add-on thing. Or maybe I'm just tripping balls. Maybe I'm just tripping balls and this was there and I'm just forgetting it. But this does look like a little bit more than I recall. I have to compare this with the originals now. Oh yeah, this is one of the coolest things about this, is this wonderful timeline that Hickman comes up with. And this is, like I say, this guy's just got this big old freaking brain in him, man. This is, and that may have, hopefully, for those of you that haven't read this, you didn't see too much there. And it's hard to look through this without spoiling stuff. So let's just take a look at the little back end here. I believe that what we've got in the back few pages here is a bunch of, they added some extra content. And it's probably, actually, I guess I just saw a little bit of extra content now that I'm thinking about it. I'm guessing it's like all the extra covers. Or these are just the main covers now that I'm looking through them. There you go. There's all the extra covers there. So interestingly enough, I'm starting to get the impression that the added content is actually neat imagery in between there that does seem to potentially add to the story overall. Okay, so let's take a little look at the dust jacket. Oh, that's sexy. I mean, the volume without the dust jacket. That is real nice. I like that a lot. That's really stylistic and cool. That is all right, man. Daddy likey. Yeah, and I should be careful about saying daddy likey. Yeah, so I'm seeing, this is telling me that there's a little, that little page that I keep on opening up to. That seems like new stuff, so I'm pretty excited about that. The binding looks pretty solid overall. Now, I must say this isn't one of these books that's going to lay flat with the first couple of pages here. This bad boy's going to want to close itself. Sometimes that can bug the heck out of me, and I get if that bothers you. This doesn't bother me in this case. This volume seems nice and easy to read, but and the paper's nice. But there you go. There's the super. That is some glue binding if you ever done seen it. And I'm not seeing any stitch work in here. I much prefer the stitch binding, glue and stitch, you know, you get this nice, beautiful combo. But I got to say, the paper is great. I believe the price point's fair. It's nothing amazing. It's 60 US, 76 Canadian. So 60 US comes out to almost, pretty much exactly the price point. 12 issues. Would that be like $62? Or is that 72? So, okay, now you're getting a little bit of value there, I guess. Yeah, 12 times 6 is, was it $6 a comic? I'm trying to remember now. Maybe it was $5 a comic. Regardless, it's not the best value. It's not a shitty value. Seems like there's a bit of extra stuff in there. It's a really nice looking hardcover. The page quality is nice. The binding isn't my favorite, but it's more than adequate. It's not super tight. It did relax quite a bit there. It looks like there's some cool extra content. I'll have to go through that more, but as far as a quick little review of what the House of Powers of looks like when you open it up, and how fantastic the comic is. If you ever loved X-Men or ever curious about X-Men, House of Powers of X and 10 is absolutely the best starting point you could pretty much ever imagine. I've been reading X-Men comics like practically my entire adult life. Well, no, my entire adult life. I've been reading, I guess, since the 70s. And I've never been more enthralled with a starting point of a creative team than Hickman's. It's quite impressive. And if you're at all curious, I recommend the heck out of picking up this volume. This looks great. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.